All right, this Costco Kevin cuts membership card responds to mask controversy. Actually, the mask controversy is important. This guy's right. You need to support small business. Too many big stores are pushing this mask on you and making out big time while the small businesses suffer.
If I go to Capitol Grill right here, and I go to Del Frisco's, and I go to Toulouse. I'm going to dinner. Today's my daughter's birthday, and I'm surprising her, and I'm taking her on a date now. She's 4 years old today. So I got a nice little place I'm going to take her. I go to restaurants that don't wear masks. So again, I'm not a mask guy. I think it's disgusting to wear a mask and serve food for me because the entire time you've been spitting into the mask. So I'm not a fan of the mask. But just like some YouTube channels went and sued YouTube to say you cannot take our videos down, and they have the right to do so by the law. The First Amendment doesn't have anything to do with corporates' decisions on what they want to do. Costco doesn't have to have you as a member if you refuse to wear their mask. So that's the one part that you got to know, that audience has to know, that you went in knowing Costco said you have to wear a mask, and you knew that in advance. So to Costco's defense, they can say, we don't want you to wear a mask and refuse business. To your defense, you can go out there and not wear a mask if you don't want to in public. And, if the government decides to do something to you, they're crossing the line, but not if a business decides to, because those are two different things. And I think at this point of the game, you kind of have an idea about those two differences. Yes?
Yes, and I absolutely do. And I already did as a small business owner, as a libertarian. I completely understand all of the ramifications behind what you just said. But I really want to get across the point that this wasn't an organic Costco policy. This was kind of like government mandate by proxy, which created that Costco policy. And one of the biggest reasons why small businesses aren't allowed to be open in the first place is because they're not sure if those small businesses are going to be able to comply to these rules and regulations. And so that's why these big box stores are open, is because they know that they will follow those rules and regulations. And then I've got a big problem with small businesses not being open because it's crushing the American people. And people say, hey, why don't you go somewhere else then? And I say, hey, why don't they open somewhere else? Hey, Costco's a private business, Hey, these other businesses are private businesses, and look at the government interfering and saying that you can't open your business. Now, I didn't take it to a mom and pop, right? I didn't just walk into a baker shop and say, hey, I'm not wearing your mask, John. I kind of took it to the epicenter of the enforcement, if you will. And I'm always about change starting from the grassroots. I can't write the CEO of Costco a letter and complain. It'll fall on deaf ears, or the governor. So sometimes you have to get in the face of the person that's already in your face trying to enforce what you don't think is right. So in fairness, I would say I acknowledged his right to ask me to leave. I exercised my First Amendment. I gave him a piece of what I thought, but then I left. I didn't assault him. I didn't stay behind. They didn't call the cops. So
I agree. I think all of that is fine. I think the statement was made that some people are very frustrated with having to wear a mask. I'm at my company right now. I'm not at my house. This is my office here. I got my employees out there, and we're coming back from 25% to 50%. I'm in a little bit of a more business-friendly state than you are, Colorado. I'm in Texas. I moved here from California 4 years ago for that exact reason, because they're more friendly here. But those are the choices that you have to make. And I have a question for you. So now that you're experiencing that in the state of Texas, in the state of Colorado, is that influencing you to consider leaving your state to another place?
Yeah, that's such a great question. Yeah, I'm looking at Florida. I see what the governors are doing in the blue states to drag down the economy, artificially raise unemployment numbers. That is an invite saying, hey, we're inviting you to leave. If you're not happy with this, you got to go. And man, there's a lot of business owners, both Democrat and Republican here. And there's still people going along with this. My favorite sushi place says, we don't think we're opening our doors until July. And it's you're going to take that? I only see that Americans are fighting to reopen this thing, which is why we're opening it, not because of coronavirus infection rates. And, they just now started to allow small businesses in Colorado to start reopening under extremely strict regulations, which are totally outside of law, only because 421 restaurants said, come Monday, hell or high water, we're opening and we don't care what you say.
Great. Great. And that's what's going to happen because, you know, a story like you, I mean, it's inevitable. You're not the only story that's happened. Maybe you recorded it and it got out there. I guarantee you there are tens of thousands of stories like yours that went to a place, refused to wear a mask. They got kicked out. They just didn't record it. But you are not the only person that's frustrated about wearing a mask to go to a place. Here's the other question for you. Have you decided to stop your membership with Costco due to what just happened?
You know what? I have not decided to stop my membership at Costco because I understand that they can revoke my membership if they want to, but I'm going to continue giving them business because they've got the plug on a few different products I need, and I kind of need to go there for those products. I might try to find a way to replace those products, but, you know, quite frankly, at the end of the day, I handled myself poorly. The manager, Tyson, handled himself poorly. We were bumping heads, and nobody was a cupcake in this situation. So that being said, I'll walk in there when they stop having this mask policy, and I'll begin shopping there again.
So you're going to go back to Costco?
Yeah, but they have to just drop this mask policy. Like, I'm not trying to create like a
What if
legal
they don't?
situation.
What if they don't? You're going to send your girlfriend to go shopping instead of you?
I thought about
Seems like
that.
she's more comfortable with the mask.
No, it's over, man. It's over. And actually, as a matter of fact, I want to start a whole F Costco support small business sort of a thing because, man, all these big box stores are just raking it in. And small business been hurting for 3 months now.
Yeah.
So I think when things start opening back up, we need to look at a situation like this and say, hey, we got to support small business. We got to stop supporting these big box stores as much because middle-class America is going down, and they're going down fast. There was no bailout for us. There was small business loans, which just puts business owners further in debt, but we didn't get golden parachutes and bailouts, and even Jeff Bezos got a bailout, and his company was killing it. So, you know, I think that, you know, this just needs to open up a discussion as to, like, whether we want to continue being patrons at a place like Costco. I don't believe they're capitalists. I believe they're crony capitalists.
But if you're going to go back to them, you're saying that you're okay with what they're doing. So if you're going to make a statement, you got to revoke your relationship with them and your membership for you to have some kind of credibility behind your voice. You can't say, I don't like the fact that you make me wear a mask, but can I please come and buy that milk that's discounted for $7? You know, you got to, if you're going to do it, you got to take a stand one of those two places. But what I will tell you,
I'm going to take a stand right now.
All right, so I'm going to get out of here. He's absolutely right. You got to take a stand. You can't have it both ways. This is Roger Martin for Billings, Montana. The truth is, small businesses are being stomped on, big businesses are being pushed, and the government's encouraging it. That is wrong, unconstitutional, and it should be noted, and it should be encouraged to not favor big business over small business owners. Good day.